Great, you guys are both here. Okay, so let's get started. Today we're going to talk about online portfolios. So I know Yuchin is going to share her artwork with us, but you don't have to necessarily be an artist in order to make a portfolio. So I think this is something that everyone can have. And to give you guys some ideas so that if you guys would like to create one in the future, because I think now everything is online, whatever abilities that you have, it could be anything you want to showcase can be put online. So it's really easy to make any website. Like if you use Wix, if you use there's another one called WordPress. Those are all free. So just some ideas for you guys today. So online portfolios. Okay, Aaron, can you tell us a little bit about this?
Okay. Online portfolios are like show and tell for professionals. Considering the countless hours we all spend online and the rise of online networking, having a web presence that showcase your talent is a must. Put yourself in an employer's shoes. Wouldn't you trust a candidate whose work you can see instead of having to take their words for it or relying on a stale resume?
Stale resume. What does stale mean?
Fixed.
Stale means boring. So if you have like stale bread, it's bread like you can hit someone with it. It's very dry and you probably don't want to try it. Overly dried. Okay. So here, put yourself in an employer's shoe. What does that mean?
It means, I guess, let your skill sets or profession to meet the employer's expectation.
Okay, right. So what type of careers are online portfolios an absolute must for? What do you think? For what type of people?
Engineers and designer, engineer, designer, or researcher.
Okay, why do you say these?
Because my experience, most engineer have a have their coding project on a GitHub platform, so you can show your web page or app online, and designer can show your drawings. Yes.
Okay. And Yuqing, what do you think?
I'm agree with Aaron and also some cameraman or director. They also need portfolios.
Okay, right. Okay, so here are some of the discussion questions. So even if your interests don't fall under the umbrella of creative work, having a portfolio is still possible and definitely advantageous. So what do you think about this? Yuqing?
What do I think about it? What is fall under the umbrella mean?
Fall under. So under the umbrella, so it means that it's also included. So like under the umbrella. So it's like everything is in this category. Creative work. So even if you're not an artist, right? Artists are most creative. They're asking to see if, what do you think about this? Like, your interests are not a part of creative work, but it's also important to have a portfolio. Do you think that it's still possible and it's an advantage to you? Do you agree or disagree?
Yes, I agree with it. Even it's not your job or only you interested in, like drawing or painting, you also can have a portfolio to collect your how to say your artworks.
Okay, right. Could be it. Aaron, the next one. A personal website is the most important networking and professional development tool you can have. Do you have one? If not, do you think you need one?
Yeah, I have one.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
What does it include?
It's include my how to say my record about the data research or coding procedure and provide some guidelines or teaching articles on my website.
Oh, wow. Okay, great. I think this is cool to share with the class. You can share with us about it. It's interesting.
Yeah. I seldom update my website recently.
Oh, okay. It's okay. It's good to have one. Okay, great. So the next question, Eugene, what should you include in your portfolio? Should you include everything or be selective?
I think in your portfolio, you should not put everything in it. It should be selective.
Okay, why should you be selective?
Because portfolio need to be very if people see your portfolio, they don't have too much time to see everything in your portfolio. So in your portfolio, the work you put in your portfolio need to be very attractive.
Okay, great. Okay, so here, but my work doesn't have any visuals. My work doesn't have any visuals. So here, number one. Aaron, what's number one?
Case studies show prospective employers how you think, work, and solve problems.
Okay, what do you think about this? And what type of people can you think of that would find this useful?
My example is all about engineers. If we are recruiting the engineer positions, it's very hard to assess the ability only during the interview. So we usually ask the candidates to show their project, their case, and we can we can see their projects to measure how they think, how they work, and how they solve a problem. And it's better the project is a collaboration project, so we can measure more about their teamwork abilities.
Okay, great. Yuqing, number 2.
Research, showcasing your ability to research. Teacher, lawyer.
Okay. So talking about teachers and lawyer, what can you add here?
Add.
What can you add on here?
Like scientist.
Scientists? What type of research do you think would be helpful to put in your portfolio? Can you give some examples?
What kind of research? I think to my portfolio, or if I am a teacher.
If you're like a teacher, what do you think?
I think you can put the research which is about education, and you also your research about education.
Okay, about education, if you're doing some research about it. Okay, some results. Maybe you can have some results, share some, maybe it could also be kind of like case study about if you're doing some research, sometimes you can include some hypothesis and about the work that you did. Okay, number 3, Aaron.
Lab reports for medical related fields.
Okay. So what can you add on to this?
How can I add on this? Lab reports in the lab. If we are in the lab, there are many research we can do, so we can show the results of these reports. And medical fields is and something like research and some physical engineering.
Okay, so something that who can provide this type of material?
Who can provide this type?
Yeah.
Professor.
Okay, it could be a professor. Okay. Any other jobs?
Maybe recent. If in the company, some company will create a research centers. So maybe this research center can provide some reports.
Okay. So the next one, number 4, is presentation.
Presentations and slideshow into your website, or better yet, include a video of your presenting.
Okay. So here, who do you think can include this? Can you give some examples?
Like I professor in college, or companies employer.
It could actually be anything. It's just to show that you have this ability of doing a presentation. So even like today's lesson, right? You're doing a presentation, you think you did a great job. This is something that you can use. Either it's the information you have that you're sharing with everyone, or it's a video of you giving the presentation. So it shows that you have the ability of making a presentation. Okay. So this is actually not something that everyone has, and I think it takes a lot of practice. So it's okay that if you're nervous at first, but you can start with a small group of people and then move on to having a larger audience. So even for me, I used to hate going on stage when I was in university, but then I was able to practice a bit more. I started doing like the free walking tours in Taipei. So I would have a large group of tourists all looking at you, and you would have to explain to them about Taiwan's history or Taiwan's culture. So that really helped me to move on with kind of like, I think it's a kind of stage fright when you're afraid to be on stage. Because when all the attention is on you, it's very hard to be emotionally calm and to be able to express yourself in an interesting way. It's okay that you can maybe read something from something you wrote, but are you able to express yourself in an interesting way and to have more interactions? So this takes practice. It maybe took me a year before I was able to have more interactions. I would always ask them questions, make them laugh, make some jokes, and create your own style in it. So this really does take time. It's not something that from the beginning, even if you're more outgoing, you will still be very nervous about it because it's not something that everyone practice and is good at. Yeah. So then I was able to actually go on and to make a presentation in front of like 60 people back in my university. So I think it's a really good practice. So start small, but you can make it bigger. Okay, number 5, Aaron, what do you think about number 5?
Certifications such as Google AdWords certified or screenshot. Use something to ensure you, to approve you have the ability.
Okay, what
I don't know what
certifications do you think?
What type of certification?
Yeah, what do you think can be added here?
Yeah, engineer.
Engineer, okay, could be. If you have a certification for engineer, could. I would say even if you have like a language certificate, right? If
Yeah.
you had some sort of TOEIC or some Japanese examination, they're all things that you can put in here. Yeah, they're good to include because let people know what you are capable of, right? I think language is one that is quite important, and it's really a plus or bonus if you do have it.
Cookers.
Cook? What?
Cooker is also near certification, right? I remember. It's cooker. How to say? There's someone to cook, make a snake, or make a dish.
Chef? You mean a chef?
No. Yeah, chef.
Okay, so like a chef, usually they also have some certifications that if they pass a test.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, they do have it. Okay, yeah. So any talents you can put in here, I think would be a plus. Okay, so I think, do you have any questions about the lesson before we move on? We can spend a little bit more time with Eugene. Any questions? No? Okay, so I think Eugene give you a little bit of time to prepare and then we'll come back to the classroom again, okay? Okay, so.
Okay.
Okay, let's come back in like 2 minutes, okay?